Hey everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever time you're listening, whether it's the recording or live. Thanks so much to everyone who's here and everybody watching. We appreciate it. We're going to talk about how to reset and rise to get up there with some good habit forming so that we can not just dream anymore, but actually get moving on stuff. We've been talking a lot about habits this year, and we're going to dive deeper into that today. So, any questions you have, just raise your hand, pop it in the chat. We will get to questions as we're able to. And the thing is, sometimes we try to white knuckle it, don't we? White knuckle it means you're just trying to use your willpower to stop doing something or to do something. But we don't need to be white knuckling it. It's better to, sorry, we've got an echo here. Let's see if we can, I'm just going to do some uh, I'm just going to mute everyone for now. Please feel free to unmute yourselves when you want to add something. But habits will beat out willpower every time, which is why it's so important to form habits that are productive and moving us forward to where we want to go and try to rid ourselves of the habits that are unproductive and might be holding us back. Something we don't often think about, habits are 40% or more of our day. There's almost half the day, we're essentially on autopilot. We're just going through the motions, doing what we do out of habit 40% of the day. And it's a lot of stuff that we often don't even think about. And the brain, keep in mind, it doesn't judge whether the habit is good or bad, positive or negative, productive, unproductive, moving you forward, keeping you step backward. The brain doesn't think about that. It simply reinforces what we repeat. The brain is, as a portion of the mass of your body, it's pretty small. It's like 5% of the mass of your body, but it's using something like 25 or 30% of your body's energy. And so the brain is constantly trying to be more energy efficient. How does it be more energy efficient? By reinforcing repeated behaviors and making it easier to just keep repeating those behaviors. And so the habits that we form with reinforced repetition, they end up sort of quietly in the background, shaping our identity, the results we're getting, and the future that we're achieving. And again, it's happening quietly, not overtly. We tend to think of our goal setting and our intentions and all this great stuff we do. But if nearly half of our day is just on autopilot, that's the background thing that's really driving us in the direction maybe we want to go, or maybe we didn't want to go. So, do you guys have examples? You can unmute and hop on, and or you can drop it in the chat, whatever you're comfortable with. Just think of one thing you already did today that you did without even thinking about it.
I got up.
You got up. You got out of bed, right? You didn't have to think about that. You woke up and you got out of bed. Yeah, just a reinforced routine.
I was also thinking of a habit that we have, which is judgment. We're very good at the habit of judging ourselves and others.
Absolutely, that's a habit as well, right? It's a repeated behavior that gets reinforced. Yeah.
Went to the bathroom.
Went to the bathroom. I brushed my teeth and my hair this morning after I got out of bed. That's just what I do when I get out of bed. I didn't have to think about it. I'm just on autopilot. John.
Yeah, one thing I'll give right now that's very applicable is a habit of being distracted, of really, chasing other things that I don't focus on. Like right now, I was so tempted and I tried and I stopped myself is while I'm on this call to go and look at my look at my emails or look at
Yep.
something else while I'm on this call. So I stopped myself and I said, I got to learn how to focus better.
Yep. That's a habit as well. Focusing can be a habit and distraction can be a habit, right? You get used to the routine of I'm on a call, I'm learning something, or I'm with some people and I'm engaging in community, but at the same time I'm doom scrolling and checking my emails, I'm checking my texts, whatever it might be. That's a habit as well.
So we can have positive and negative habits.
Yep, absolutely. So we get stuck in this habit loop. There's some sort of cue that cues you into a behavior and you get a reward. What's the reward when you engage in the habit? What do you think? Think
Satisfaction.
satisfaction? Yeah, even if it's an unproductive or negative habit, there's a satisfaction or you wouldn't be doing it.
Because you felt like you did something.
Yeah. Sorry, honey,
Alleviating anxiety.
alleviating anxiety.
Being
Oh,
aware
Laura,
that
yeah, like Pavlov's dog, we respond to the dings on our phone, don't we?
yeah. Just being aware that it feels good to continue something that was good and to
Yeah, it feels good, right? Yeah, that reward is dopamine. It's a chemical your nervous system releases. It's the pleasure chemical, it's the satisfaction chemical, it's the feel good chemical. It's your brain telling you, good job, you just did something. Right? Now that dopamine is released not just for the productive, healthy things we do, right? Are there unproductive and unhealthy things we can do that release that reward chemical in our brain? I mean, you betcha. What do you think cocaine is doing in your brain? Right? Now, is cocaine a healthy habit? Probably not most of the time. It releases that. What does nicotine do in your brain? What does alcohol do in your brain? Yeah, Bob, you got it. Dopamine.
Well, same thing too, Ian, as far as what is, since I'm a health and wellness guy, sugar and flour, those things we don't even have an awareness sometimes that makes us feel good.
Yeah, yeah. A little handful of M&Ms. You bet that releases dopamine, right? Which is my brain telling me do it again. And what next time I need more than one handful of M&Ms to get the same dopamine release, right? Then I need three handfuls. Or a delicious and look, I'm not saying eat healthy all the time. We were just saying this morning, Saturday or Sunday is kind of my cheat day. I'm making biscuits and gravy for everybody Sunday. It's not the healthiest breakfast, but we eat healthy breakfast the rest of the days of the week. I'm gonna get some dopamine from that biscuits and gravy. I just got to make sure I'm not doing it every day. Oh, no problem, Jane. It all happens. Yeah. And so with repetition, the pathways in your brain strengthen, right? So you have some behavior that gives you some reward, a release of the pleasure chemical in your brain, which makes you want to do it again and again. And the more you do it, the more the pathways that connect that cue and behavior and reward in your brain, they strengthen. They get thicker, they get stronger. An actual layer of fat forms around them to protect them so that that pathway will stick and it'll work better. And that means that the thicker that connection, the stronger that connection, the more it has that little layer of fat around that neural pathway, the less energy is required to keep repeating it. Now your brain can repeat that connection over and over without using very much energy. So a habit is an energy efficiency tool in our brain. Like I said, our brain uses way more energy or an outsized proportion of energy as compared to the size of mass it takes up in our body. So it's always looking for ways to use energy more efficiently and not waste it. And it does that through forming habits. And those habits might be good or bad or neutral, neither. A good habit could be I exercise every day at 5:30 in the morning, right? Get out, do some stretches, do a little light exercise, or go to the gym at whatever time. A bad habit might be smoking, usually not so productive in your life. A neutral habit could be driving a car. It's not really positive or negative, but it is a habit. You get in the car, you start it, you push the brake, you push the gas. If you're driving a manual, you got your clutch and your stick shift. That you just, when you drive from point A to point B, that's all habit. That's why you're able to think of other things and do other things. Have you ever zoned out driving your car? Right? You're in a long drive, you got 3 hours to get somewhere, you zoned out, and you don't know what happened those last 3 hours, but you got there safely, didn't you? Why? Because driving is a simple habit. You've strengthened those neural pathways in your brain. Your brain can do it automatically without thinking about it, without using very much energy. That's right, Jane. Yeah, the sheath that forms around it. Oops, my little animation is off there. So try to be aware. You don't want your brain to be your enemy in habit forming. You want your brain to become your ally, and it starts with awareness and mindfulness. What are these small repeated behaviors that you do all day? And you don't have to judge them. Just think about them at first. Just kind of like list them out. A good exercise is to go a week with a little journal, and every time you do something, a habit, write it down. I got out of bed. I took a shower, brushed my teeth, combed my hair, put on clothes, found my glasses, pulled out my phone and checked email, made breakfast, had a cigarette, you name it, whatever it is, all these automatic things that make up half our day, just start writing it down. Do that for a week and look back at your list and think, oh my gosh, look at all this stuff. And then start asking, are these the things I really want to do? Is this who I really want to be?
That's a good practice, because it makes the unconscious conscious.
Yes, exactly. We eventually become the things we do repeatedly. And so excellence is not some sort of, big act you have to do. Excellence is a habit that you form. Excellence every day. And I'm not perfect on that. I have a long ways to go on that, as do many of us. But it starts with being mindful and aware of all the little things we're doing. So maybe right now, just take 30 seconds and think, what are 3 to 5 things you do every day? And are these things pulling you closer to who you want to be, or are they pulling you farther away from who you want to be? You can chime in anytime. There's definitely some I've gotten better at. Anyone have some examples?
Well, running over to check your email or your cell phone
Mm-hmm.
doesn't necessarily, unless you're expecting a client or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
is a habit.
Yeah.
Playing games on the phone,
Mm-hmm.
watching TV at night to relax.
Mm-hmm.
One of the good habits that I've started, and actually it's a habit now, is jumping out of bed and dancing in front of the mirror and saying I love me.
There you
It
go.
was not the easiest thing to do at the beginning, but now it's a habit.
Now it's
Now
a
Oh,
it's the
that's
habit.
way
great.
I start my day. Yeah.
Yeah, but some habits are good to have. That sounds like
Hmm.
a habit that
Yeah.
nurtures you, that inspires you, uplifts you. So why
Mm-hmm.
would you want to give that away?
No way will I want to give it away.
Yeah.
And then when Ian says 40% of us of our being is habits, 40%, yeah, hopefully the goal is to make 40% of them good.
Yeah. Have that automatic 40% of your day be stuff that drives you forward to where you want to be and who you want to be.
I like more 80 to 90%.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I was trying to be conservative there.
Of positive, or at least, non-harmful.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of it's perfectly neutral. Like we said, driving a car is a good example of a habit that's not really good or bad. It's something that's generally useful for some of us or not, depending on your life circumstances, but you just do it automatically.
But it is a habit that serves us. For example, if we need food and we need the car to get there, then that's a good habit to have
Mm-hmm.
cultivated driving a car.
Yep.
You know,
Well, and I always use the car as a way to either connect with people. So when I'm on the road, I call and connect with my friends or my mom or
Yep.
Ian now. Or I use it to learn. So it's my little university on wheels.
Yep.
I'm doing this call right now while I'm driving.
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm learning right now from this call is that if it's an awareness thing. I bet if I sat down and really wrote down all my habits, it would be 30, 40, or 50 of them. I mean, I know there's a
Yeah.
lot of little habits I'm doing that I'm not
Yeah.
even aware of. Yeah.
Exactly, John. That's why we talk about it starts with awareness and mindfulness. So take a week, and just have a piece of paper and just start writing that down. Get out of bed, brush my teeth, ate breakfast, got dressed, exercised, and then some of it's going to be like, checked my phone at whatever 7:08 in the morning or whatever. And you might look back and think, did I really need to check my phone at 7:08? Was that necessary? Was there some reason I did that? Did I hop on Facebook and doom scroll? Did I look at the news? Did I turn on the TV? Did I, get distracted with email while I was supposed to be either learning or accomplishing something or in community? All those little things, just write them down. Jane says cat videos. I like that habit. That's a good habit.
What was it?
Cat videos.
Ah, yeah.
Hmm. But like cat videos, that maybe that's a productive thing for you to do in the moment. Maybe it's not. Maybe your brain needs a minute off to see something that makes you feel good, and cat videos are a way to do it. Or cat videos are such a habit that you can't stop watching them when you're supposed to be doing other things. Or
It's
something in
become
between.
it's become an addiction.
An addiction. There you go.
Well, people are addicted to their televisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's an addiction?
Well, it's a habit.
It's a habit, but it's more than a habit. An addiction is a behavior we keep repeating over and over, and we can't stop repeating even when we know it has negative consequences. That's an addiction.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Can
Are we?
addictions be good also?
Well, sort of by definition, at least sort of clinically, we think of addiction as a behavior you repeat and you can't stop repeating, even though you are aware of the negative consequences. So that's
Okay.
what we mean by addiction.
Okay, so I'm addicted to nutrition, for instance. What do you
But
do
is
there?
the nutrition having a negative consequence on you?
No.
No. Yeah. So it's not normally what we think of as an addiction. It's sort of colloquially speaking an addiction.
So addictions are negative, is what you're saying.
Well, it's from a clinical perspective, as someone who works in kind of healthcare adjacent fields. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's sort of by definition has a negative consequence on your life and you're aware of the negative consequences, you keep doing it anyway. So instead of eating healthy, John, let's say you went to McDonald's for dinner every night. And that's not good for you. It's damaging your body. You can see the effects on your body and your mind as you're doing it, but you can't stop no matter how hard you try. That would be an addiction. But we do like to say things like we're addicted to our kitty cats, we're addicted to our puppies, we're addicted to love, right? We're
Right.
addicted to cuddles, we're addicted to hanging out with each other, right? We kind of use it in that way. Yeah, Liz, healthy habits versus an addiction, right? Eating well is a healthy habit. Hanging out in a community where you feel loved and supported is a healthy habit. On the other hand, you could be addicted to a community that is not loving and supportive, right? There might be a group of friends or family that you see all the time and you hang out all the time, and they are not loving and supportive. They are not helping you move forward in your goals. You're not helping them move forward in their goals in life. It's unhealthy for you to all be around each other, right? It's toxic community. And yet you can't stop hanging out with these people. Why? Because,
Well,
go ahead. Yeah.
go ahead.
No, I want to hear what you say, honey.
Well, I was just thinking, like John was saying, nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
If the nutrition was having a negative impact, maybe on his finances, or
Mm-hmm.
if he got too strict, or I don't know, whatever about it, maybe he would lose relationships that he doesn't want to lose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if your focus is all on that, maybe you're not focusing on other things you need to have in your life. So then maybe there is an addiction there.
Okay.
If there are negative consequences to this so-called, just like a workaholic, right? If the person is working all the time because they get a good sense of self and they make more money, but they've neglected their families,
Mm-hmm.
or their health habits, because it just makes more sense to them to focus on the work.
Right.
That's when, because it's not a bad thing to work. there's also people that are like addicted to going to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Going to the gym in and of itself is not a bad thing,
Mm-hmm.
but if you, you know, spend too much money and, you know, because it's that connection between having the dopamine release,
Mm-hmm.
because that's it when you pair certain behaviors with that dopamine, that's when the addiction becomes very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And it, you know, it takes over sometimes. It takes over our lives. So that would be the question I would ask John is, has the nutrition had any negative impacts?
Yeah, I get you. That's good. That's really good, Heather, because I'll equate it to all my things that I love to do, like my golf game. I know that was not good for my family. Sometimes when I went out to the golf course, I was addicted to playing golf. I looked at all the good things, and then at the same time, when you take a deeper dive, like you just said, and get more awareness about what you want to call an addiction, then you
Mm-hmm.
really have to be aware of what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, lots of things. There's nothing wrong with having a glass of wine with dinner every night. That can be perfectly normal and healthy. On the other hand, if you're having a glass of wine every 5 minutes all day long, now we're talking about an addiction that's having negative consequences.
Or if you like my cousin, she's has a glass, and I'm not making any judgment here. For 30 years, she's always had a glass of wine, and the cumulative effect has caught up to her, whatever
Mm-hmm.
way you want to look at it. So
Yeah.
it all depends.
Liz points out that a cult is a good example of being addicted to a toxic community, right? Community,
Yeah.
like community, there's nothing wrong with community, but if you're in a cult, that could be a toxic community and you're addicted to it, you get it, even though it's having a negative effect on your life, your brain is releasing dopamine every time you see those folks. So you keep going back, you can't stop.
Good one.
You know what I thought though, is that person might be matching the negativity or their toxicity. That's
Mhm.
why they get a high when they go back.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Because if they're a higher vibration and they're for balance and support and love and whatever, they would go, "Ooh, this doesn't feel good," and know
Yeah,
what to do. Yeah.
yeah, but if you're living, you're right, Nora, if you're living in that low vibration state, and I don't judge people who do. I've spent a large portions of my life living in low vibration states. It's hard to pull out of it. Often you don't even know there's another option. You don't even know there is a high vibration state to go to. And so you seek out other people at the same vibration.
Right, because you're in it. I mean, you are in that vibration, but when you somehow get yourself to shift or get out of it or wake up or whatever word you want to say,
Hmm.
then you can take action.
Yeah. It's a little bit like, if you're living in a low vibration state and someone asks you, why are you living in a low vibration state? The question doesn't make any sense. It's,
That's right.
it's like asking a fish if they like water.
Yeah,
Just going
that's
to say,
right.
what's water? Don't understand the question.
Yeah, you can't, yeah, they're in it. They can't,
Yeah.
and it's not a make wrong or a judgment. It's just they are, that's where they are.
Yeah. And Laura, you're right. The cults have a vested interest in keeping you in the low vibration state.
Yep.
Hmm. So once we start getting aware, once we start making that list, we can start making little tiny steps every day that lead ultimately to a massive transformation. And change does not require some massive overhaul right away. It's just a little bit at a time. 1% better each day, or each week, or each month, right? If I can be 1% better in my habits this week compared to last week, ultimately that's going to compound and make a big difference over the next year. So some examples, if you're not meditating regularly, just take 3 minutes every day to meditate. 3 minutes. Start with 3 minutes every day. Or read for 5 minutes. Or walk around the block, right? Or just walk around your house or something. You can take small steps each day that require just a few minutes to start forming the new habit, the new more productive habit. And what happens, and this is how we form these habits, it can start as dislike, right? I don't like walking around the block. I dislike it. It's uncomfortable. I don't feel like it. I'd rather be watching TV or doom scrolling or whatever. So at first, you're not getting that dopamine release from walking around the block when you first start doing it. But that dislike, after a few weeks, you start to tolerate it. Okay, it's fine. I don't hate it. It's okay. I can do this. You tolerate it. And then after a few more weeks, you start missing it when it's gone. Something happens in the morning, your schedule changes, you don't get in your walk, and you suddenly think, dang it, I didn't get in my walk today. I don't feel right. I'm missing it. Because now you're addicted to that dopamine release of walking around the block. I shouldn't say addicted because this is, probably is not having negative consequences, right? What's happening is we're creating those new neural pathways, strengthening them to get that reward. I'm starting to really like meditating and I miss it when it doesn't happen. I enjoy reading, I miss it when it doesn't happen. I enjoy the exercise, I miss it when it doesn't happen. I enjoy eating my healthy salad instead of the McDonald's hamburger. And now when I don't get my healthy salad, I miss it. So it's okay if you dislike things at first. The dislike becomes tolerance. The tolerance becomes actively enjoying it and missing it when it's not there. Now, does this require some patience? You betcha. Does it require some discipline and consistency? You betcha. Absolutely. Lisa, yeah, you become anchored to it for sure. For me, meditation over the last several months has become something that I never really disliked it, but I went from tolerating it to enjoying it so much that I feel like I have to meditate 3 times a day or I'm not right. I'm physically and emotionally not right if I'm not meditating several times a day.
You know what I found out? Uh, because I've tried meditating, but one day I read an article that says, you know, meditating doesn't mean you have to sit. It
No.
means you could be doing the dishes and you're only focused on the dishes, the
Hmm.
cold water, the soap, whatever, or working in your garden. So I've been meditating all along and didn't know it.
Yeah. Actually, Laura just said that too. Repetitive crafts with your hands, things you're doing with your hands.
And
Yeah.
that's a good point too, is that you can just shift right there your mindset. Like when I want to meditate or do something, I just take a breath. I say, don't forget to breathe.
Hmm. Don't forget to breathe or just look, the simplest thing ever. If you're not sure what to do or how to meditate or whatever, just do some box breathing. Do you guys know the box breathing? Four
Go ahead.
seconds in, hold it for 4, 4 seconds out, hold it for 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Just do some box breathing. And the simple act of doing that and counting makes a big difference.
I'm sorry, I didn't get what you just said about box, BOX reading.
Box breathing.
Oh, box.
Breathing. You take 4 seconds to breathe in, you hold it for 4 seconds, 4 seconds to breathe out, hold it for 4 seconds, and repeat.
Why don't we do that?
You want to do it real quick? All right, let's do some box breathing. We'll do a couple repetitions. So breathe in, count to 4 as you breathe in. Hold it for 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Breathe out for 4 seconds.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hold it for 4. Breathe in for 4 seconds. Hold it for 4. Breathe out for 4 seconds. Hold it for 4. That's something you can just do for 2 or 3 minutes. Just slows down your mind and your body. Yep, exactly. Jay knows what we're talking about, the 4x4. All right, so if you want to say it out loud or drop it in the chat, what's one small habit you could start this coming week? Something, a small habit you can start getting working on. Maybe, and it's okay if you don't like it at first. You don't have to like it. something that might be productive for you. John, 5 minutes decluttering mindfully. There you go. Lisa, yeah, similar, clean, organized for 5 minutes. Norma, look up and not down. Sure.
Because I look down a lot.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and that can be both literal and metaphorical, right? So think too about habits and your well-being and how we can have habits that calm us down instead of numbing us. Remember that stress and anxiety can lead to habits, can create habits, but stress and anxiety do not have to lead to unproductive or negative habits. The negative habits tends to be self-soothing. This might be using substances, nicotine, alcohol, marijuana, other drugs, whatever it might be. It could be self-soothing by watching TV or doom scrolling on your phone, or constantly checking your text and email when there's really not that big of a hurry to respond to every text and email right now. Nobody's going to die. I hate to tell you. I tell myself this all the time. Ian, you're not that important. Nobody's going to die if you don't respond to those emails right now. If you don't respond to those texts right now, they're going to be fine. Everybody's going to be fine. Everything's going to be okay. Binge watching your favorite TV shows while snuggling with your loved one at night before instead of going to sleep. That's a self-soothing habit, right? Now, I like it. I enjoy it. And it is a form of self-soothing, the stress and anxiety of the day.
Well, and you'll love this. My youngest daughter told me about a study that there are better ways to connect with your loved one instead of just cuddling and watching TV.
Yep. You mean like talking to each other?
Imagine that. Or playing a game together or reading a book together.
Uh-huh. Well, now Heather and I, instead of snuggling and watching our shows for an hour before bed, we talk.
Yep.
We talk like human beings used to about our days.
Well, you know, there's this saying, a person is as powerful as they're able to communicate.
Mm.
And I find that true in companies or one-on-one.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, out of stress and anxiety can be born those self-soothing habits, which are often not productive. Or you can develop positive and grounding habits out of your stress and anxiety. You can pray, meditate, journal, exercise, find community. These are positive grounding habits you can form out of stress and anxiety that help keep you calm and help you deal with the stress and anxiety in productive ways that reduce the feelings of stress and anxiety. Right? So instead of reaching for that cigarette or that glass of wine or your telephone or the TV remote, maybe meditate. Maybe, and the meditation again doesn't have to be sitting still. My meditation happens to be mostly done while sitting still, just the style I use, but I do also meditate while washing the dishes. And now when I'm cleaning the kitchen and washing the dishes, I no longer have headphones in listening to podcasts or the news, right? My mind is quiet while I do it now.
And you're focused on what you're doing. That's
I'm
what they
focused
say
on the
is
task. Yeah.
active meditation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When I'm washing the dishes now, I'm not doing something else also. I'm just washing the dishes. That's it. So yeah, this week my chore is to sweep the back porch every day. Now when I'm sweeping the back porch, I'm just sweeping the back porch. I'm not doing anything else. I'm just moving around, sweeping up the back porch, cleaning up the trash from the day. That's it.
Feeling the broom going across the floor, the bending, feeling the dustpan. Yeah, it's all feeling and observing. Yeah, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
I was calming down just when you said I'm just there on the back porch sweeping. I go, oh, that felt good.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's good. I used to live at a house where I had a swimming pool and I had to clean it every day, and that was a habit. And then I
Mhm.
moved, and for the last year and a half, I haven't, there's a little pool here, and I just started a week ago cleaning it every day, and it's
Mm.
feeling pretty good now.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Jane, I love it. Yeah, desensitization for your physical balance every day. Yeah, it's all about mindfulness, right? Being aware. Um, one of the people that works here where I'm at right now, he has a saying, where are your feet? If he sees that I'm feeling stressed and overwhelmed by the stuff I have to deal with, he comes up and says, hey, Ian, where are your feet? What's he doing when he says that?
Getting you present.
Getting me present in the moment, right?
Yep.
Not worried about what happened yesterday, not worried about what's going to happen tomorrow. Where are your feet? He means right now, where are your feet? Literally. Being in my body, being in the room or outside or wherever, in my surroundings, being just physically and mentally aware of what's going on around me, right here in the moment. And so the stress and anxiety relief now comes from also completing things, getting a task done, because now we're focusing on it better. We're not getting distracted. We're not doing three things at the same time. And even acceptance of the circumstances. Sometimes we call it radical acceptance, right? What's the serenity prayer? You guys remember the serenity prayer? Right? The strength to fix, I don't remember the exact words, right? The strength to change the things I can uh,
Accept the things. Yeah.
and to accept the things I can't change and the wisdom to know the difference.
Yep.
Think of the serenity prayer. Yeah, Laura, see, the serenity prayer been mentioned to you again, right? So the universe is saying something, Laura. Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah, Jane, you're right. Sounds like a sign. Yeah. So set the tone each day with an intentional habit. What might be that new intentional habit you're going to do at the beginning of the day that sets the tone? Right? Something other than getting out of bed, putting on your clothes, brushing your teeth, and eating breakfast. What's a new intentional habit you can put near the front of your day that could set the tone? Norma.
What I do is I notice I'm alive.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Just noticing you're alive.
I
Hmm.
didn't die in my sleep, or God called me, somewhere along the way. I just woke up and I go, oh, good, I'm here.
I'm here. So I must have some purpose to fulfill today. Hmm. The universe is not done with me yet. So let's talk about being practical and how we design those habits. So, like we said, maybe take a week, write down all these things you already do automatically every day. You might see it's more than 40% of your day when you write down the automatic things. And some of these things you don't even realize automatic. John, I love the example you gave earlier of like you're on a meeting or with community or you're reading or doing something productive, a task that advances you. And then what do? Not just you, by you I mean the generic you, all of us, right? We turn array, pick up this little device, right? And start checking that email, checking those texts. What's going on? So start writing that stuff down so that you're aware of it. And now think of layering in new habits. We call it habit stacking. So the new habit you want, attach it to something you already do in your little schedule. So go through this little list that you've been doing, and you'll see lots of these things are done in order. Now, where can I find a space to insert the new habit, to stack it in there? So after I brush my teeth, I'm going to meditate for 3 minutes. At some point in the morning, you brush your teeth out of sheer habit, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with brushing your teeth as a habit. Good personal hygiene is productive, helps keep you healthy. So after I brush my teeth, I'm going to meditate for 3 minutes. Oh, excuse me. And again, that doesn't have to be sitting down. That could be sweeping, washing the dishes, knitting, whatever it is. Start stacking in new things. Yeah, Jane, energy clearing and grounding. Yep, just for 2 minutes. A lot of us have those tools already on how to clear energy and ground, right? So, for all of you, what's one place you might be able to stack a new habit in your day? And we've talked about some of the new habits we're thinking about doing over the next week and heard some great ideas. Now, where are you going to stack it into your day to make it a habit so that it happens automatically? So, if it's 3 minutes of meditating or 5 minutes of organizing, whatever it might be, where are you going to stick it in your day?
I'm going to do mine at the end of the day as I'm getting into bed, giving thanks for all the good in my life.
There you go. Yeah, so gratitude. And that can be done if you want to do it in your journal, writing it down, your little gratitude list.
Well, I do it during the day, but it's important to do it at the very end. For me, I looked at that. So I that's doing it all day long, but at the end for sure.
Right. So definitely doing it at the end of the day. Yeah.
One habit that I'm trying to, I don't know what's up with it is that I'm addicted to my phone. And so if I go somewhere, I always check, and if I don't have it, I kind of go into a mini little panic that says, where's my
Mhm.
phone? Where's my phone? And that happens to me, it's a habit where I gotta go wherever I'm going, I gotta have my phone with me. And I'm not sure exactly what to do there because I love connecting with people and that's what it does. It
Uh-huh.
disconnects you with people.
Yeah. Um, I did it by quite literally detoxing off of my phone. When I found some medical treatment, I gave my phone to the doctor. Here, take it.
Mm.
And
If
I
I might,
and so I and the first week, every time I left a room, I found and I realized, and I didn't know I was doing this, every time I walked from one room to another, my hand went to my pocket.
Yeah.
Why? Because it was empty. Something felt wrong with my pocket because there was no phone in my pocket. Now, eventually, that stopped happening. And eventually, the doctor gave my phone back to me to let's say, like, it's okay, you're detoxed. Now try to be responsible with it. And now I'm always leaving my phone in the other room.
Mm.
And has anybody died? Well, I left my phone in the other room. Has something horrible gone wrong? No, everything was fine. Maybe I missed a call or something. Fine, then I call you back.
if I may throw something in here, I found out when I was taking a course to get my insurance lowered, a good driving course.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned to the men in the course that I thought the cell phones had energy that came out of them that compels us to want to look at them, and they all agreed.
Mm-hmm.
So once I knew that, I go, that's it. This phone is not going to control me anymore. And just by that decision, I'm able to carry it or put it in my purse, but I don't look at it often. I
Yeah.
just know it's there and it's going to ring if I need to answer a call
Mm-hmm.
or check my email. So just
Yeah.
knowing that piece of truth for me,
Mm-hmm.
and I give eternal blessings on that, helped me be strong not to do it, to break
Yeah.
the habit.
There you go. Jane, you're right. We survived for a long time with no phones. Look, boomers and Gen Xers, what did we do as kids? We went outside, right? It was Saturday morning. What happened? We went outside. When did we come home? Sometime that night. We're
Yeah, but
outside
there,
all day long, no phones, no nothing.
Yeah, but at that time there were different ways to. I thought about that. One day I forgot my phone and I had to go in the freeway somewhere and I panicked because I thought there's no public telephones.
Hmm.
I'm going to be off to the side. I can't call AAA. I have no I it's like that was the scary part. My ability to communicate and ask for help was really limited. If
Mhm.
I knew there were payphones, maybe I wouldn't have been so upset. But
Maybe, yeah. Well, that's a good point. Yeah.
yeah.
Laura, so yeah, if you've been dealing with crises that you've had to react to your phone, yeah, then your phone became a stressor, right? Every time it dinged, you were like, oh my gosh, what went wrong?
No, I was looking at the opposite. If I had a situation where I needed help, I could use my phone to get help.
Hmm.
Is that what you just meant, Ian?
Yeah, well, I mean, I like the idea of you could, if your phone's not right next to you, right, you don't have to reach it. It can be in the back seat, it can be in your
Oh,
purse,
oh,
in your
yeah,
bag,
yeah, yeah,
right? You can
that's
still
right.
have it with you, but it's not in your pocket, it's not in your hand, it's not in your within your
Yeah,
vision. Hmm.
I see. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, that's true.
In so many ways, it's a slippery slope for me as far as, looking for answers that I'm kind of stumped on. And I go to now it's a habit of mine to go to AI and to ask them, if I can't, and I've created that habit in a good way that I get some of my questions answered that I never that I would have had a lot more struggle with. So for
Yeah.
me, I guess it's a discernment issue where do I, do I want to be connected to electronics in that way, or what's the good side of that? Sometimes I get perplexed.
Well, it's, use it when it's productive and don't use it for things that are unproductive is the
Yeah.
basic rule. Now that's easy to say. You still have to be deliberate about that and think through it. The my phone is a very useful tool, but I no longer play games on it. I'm not constantly checking it. I'm doing other things.
Just real quick. I was in the bank, and the teller and I started in a conversation over cell phones. And she was in her 20s. What a great short story. When she and her husband go out with others for dinner, they have this agreement. Everybody puts their cell phone face down on the table, and
Yeah,
whoever answers the phone pays for everybody's dinner.
I like that.
Nobody answers their phone.
Nobody answered the phone. Yeah, there you go. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's something even having it face down in your pocket, whatever, when you're with people. When I'm doing something else now, it's not out and face up. Why? Because something dings, it lights up, and you just automatically look at it. So it's either in my pocket, face down, in my bag, somewhere where I'm not looking at it constantly. Trying to be present, doing what I'm doing, or being with the people I'm being with.
What's also tricky is the changing times. I remember when I did see people initially on phones in a restaurant at the table, that would disgust me. I would say, "You got to be kidding me!" Here they are having their phone in the restaurant, and then they made a law a couple years ago that said if we catch you with your phone in your car, they'll give you a ticket. Now they don't even they ignore that. So, these things just keep evolving to the
Oh,
point
I
where,
know people who have gotten tickets for that recently, so they're still enforcing it.
okay,
Yeah, and it's not you can't hand your phone, you just can't have it in your hand.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
why we
I've
hands-free device.
heard that too, Ian. Yep. You don't have to be on it, but if you're holding it, you get a ticket. Yep.
Yeah. So your habits, look, again, we're talking about 40% of our day, and again, I'm being conservative there. It's probably much more. Our habits end up forming our identity. It's just who we are. That identity then drives the choices we make, and those choices are going to shape our lives and our business as we move forward or not move forward. So if you need different outcomes, don't just chase the good thing you want. Design the habits that create the good things you want. The good things you want are not things you just chase. They're things that are created out of your daily activities, especially if you have habits, if you're doing things on autopilot that helps create that good stuff that you want out of life. So habits ultimately become those real levers of transformation. And habits work better, they stick longer when we do it together, when we do stuff in community, when we help each other out, if it's love and support and accountability. Because the hardest part of forming those new habits, that little loop that we have to get into, the cue, the behavior, the reward, right? Or moving from I don't like this to now I tolerate it to now I love it and I miss it when it's gone. Consistency, right? We need consistency and trying to do it alone. We need to be doing this stuff together. Most people fall off that habit wagon not because they don't care or because they don't want to, but because they don't have support around them. It's just hard to do this stuff alone. That's why we have our Empowered Business Habits community. And this is a real momentum booster. And so if you want to finish off 2025 the way you deserve, moving in the direction you want to move, forming the habits that are productive and moving you forward, getting rid of the old habits, this might be a good fit for you. So just imagine you get to wake up in the morning. Oh, it says tomorrow morning. This is a Friday we're doing this. So Monday morning, because we do this Monday through Friday, but you're waking up Monday morning knowing you don't have to figure this out alone, knowing you're going to have a community with you every morning. You can show up to a loving, judgment-free space where people see you and celebrate you every day. You can set your clear intentions for the day and the things you want to accomplish. And then you get to cap off the week every Friday with calls like this, where we have guidance from Heather and myself on upgrading your mindset and habits. So that's our Empowered Business Habits community. And if you're a member of that, you get daily morning calls. These are Monday through Friday. They last about 15 to 30 minutes. Right now, we've been doing these at 6:30 a.m. Pacific, 9:30 Eastern, which is kind of seems to be the best spot for the various time zones. You can share your wins with everybody from yesterday and even your struggles from yesterday. It's okay if you had victories, struggles, both, whatever it might be. Process through your blocks and your self-doubt. Set your clear, aligned intention for the day. In effect, making this new morning call one of your habits. You just show up automatically. And some of you in here have been through that. And you've been showing up every day out of habit, right? It's a productive habit, getting together in community every morning on these calls. And then set your intentions for the day and feel loved, seen, and supported by a powerful, non-judgmental community. Oh, John, I see you. I'll get to you in a second there. And then every Friday, we have coaching calls that last about an hour. These are going to be at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern on Fridays. We dive deeper into things like how to set meaningful goals and not just engage in busy work, how we can rewire our beliefs so we stop sabotaging ourselves, things like communication skills, meditation skills, mindset skills, and you get recordings of the Friday calls. So we talk about lots of stuff like we did today, where it's really learning. Like today, we dove deep into what are habits and how do we get rid of the old ones and how do we set the new ones. So it's just kind of an example of what we do on these Friday calls. And you get a community that actually cares. So you get the live coaching on Fridays with Heather and Ian, and you leave each Friday after the whole week of meeting in this community. You're feeling more focused, more clear, and energized for the weekend and the coming week. And this is really about support and not judgment. So there's no toxic hustle culture here. There's no pressure to perform. We will encourage you and encourage one another, but nobody's going to be upset with you if you don't accomplish yesterday's goals that you intended, where there's still support and love and no judgment and just real people showing up and holding space for one another on a daily basis. And some, just what it's been through. Actually, John's on today, so this is what John's experience was like. So EBH, Empowered Business Habits, is a life-changing habit that has made me a better person. Every day I start by sharing my true authenticity in a place that is, above all, safe. It's made a difference in my life and it keeps getting better. You'll be glad you joined. And from our dear friend Kristen out in Connecticut, Ian and Heather's hearts and experience is helping set me up for success and moving towards the best version of myself possible through EBH. This, combined with connecting with a loving community for accountability, has been so impactful. Now, even the least productive days are more productive than the days prior to being part of EBH because of how I am set up to win from the get go. The only regret I have is not joining the group sooner. And so you can join this community. This is a subscription-based thing. So it's $147 a month if you want to pay monthly, or it's $14.77 for the year, which is getting 2 months for free. You can go to empoweredbusinesshabits.com to check that out, empoweredbusinesshabits.com. And you can try it out for, try it monthly at first if you want. If you feel like switching to yearly, that's always an option at any point. But it's a subscription based. You're not committing for long periods of time. I mean, if you pay just the annual for the year, then you're in for the year and it renews annually. If you pay by the month, then it simply renews every month, and you can cancel your subscription at any time if it's not working out for you. Why do this now? We're already through most of 2025. We've done 3/4 of the year already, and maybe you're feeling on fire, maybe you're a little behind, but really what matters most is how you show up from here on out. How do you finish the year strong? Not doing it alone, making sure you're doing it in community, forming habits that are empowering and actually moving your business and your life forward in the direction you want, and then setting yourself up for 2026 real strong. And the most valuable thing you can do for the rest of this year, these last few months, is to make progress toward the life you want and deserve. The life you want is going to be different than the life that other people want. And it's great to get together and do this together and see the different lives that people are building. Now, sure, the best time to join would have been a year ago, but the second best time is to do it today. You've heard the old adage, when's the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago was the best time to plant a tree. Okay, well, I didn't do it 20 years ago. So when's the best time to plant a tree? Right now, today. So check it out at empoweredbusinesshabits.com. We would love to have all of you. So, John, sorry, I saw your hand raised a minute ago. Did you want to add
Yes,
anything?
I do want to add something, and I didn't mean to be a distraction because you were on
No,
a
it's all
roll
good.
there. That was so good. As far as what Empowered Business Habits has done for me is to be real current right now. It's burned some nice neural pathways into my habit forming brain here of, every morning just by showing up, it just kept getting better and better. So I give you and Heather, Ian, a lot of credit. I give the club members, the people who are in the call, a lot of credit too, because I learned so much about myself and being about my true self. And I just want to say thank you, because I do a lot of community calls, and this one was top notch. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
thank you, John. Appreciate it. Norma.
Yeah, and being a part of the group, one thing I've really appreciated was not being judged, not feeling judgment. And it took me 2 months to realize I'm flowering and blossoming, and I'm appreciated for who I am. And it touches my heart deeply. And I'm glad I joined.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
I appreciate
well,
that.
we loved having you. You're just such a wonderful human, Norma. I just have so much love for you.
Thank you. And I love all of you guys. Really. Oh, there he
And
is.
Stanley says hi.
Hey,
Puppy.
Stanley,
Stanley
finally let
Bigger.
me see you.
Oh my goodness, he's licking me.
Yeah,
Oh,
he let you let me see him. Isn't that?
yes, yes. And that's the one thing I would say about the community too is the community coming together. Helped me get through a really, really tough time, and just the love and the support and the daily accountability of showing up and kind of saying out loud, like, what is it I need to accomplish today? And for me, it's been a rough several months, and just one foot in front of the other, and
I find that I do it internally in my own head, but the community support and love is something I keep missing when I don't show up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah, I mean, I missed it when I was detoxing off of electronics for a month. I wasn't able to join every morning, and I didn't like it. That was a positive habit I'd formed, and I missed it when I was gone. So I'm glad that I have access to my electronics again, and I'm able to be on.
Yeah, and today I noticed, this word habit I really not didn't like. But what I find interesting after being on this talk, I'm actually interested in my habits
Yeah.
and looking forward to the excitement of being in charge of molding them and refreshing them or deleting them or whatever I'm going to do to empower myself. So that was a nice gift that I felt gifted by you today in your
Oh,
presentation and your sincerity. Yeah,
thank
thank you.
you. That's
Yeah,
beautiful,
well
Norma.
said,
Thank you.
Norma. I was just going to say kind of something similar is empowered business habits is we're speaking as entrepreneurs, and really getting our passion and purpose out to the world in such a way that empowering your business habits is so relevant. Thank you for
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Bob, you're right. The neurons that fire together wire together, and that's literally true in your brain, and it's true of us as people and community as well. All right. Thanks so much, everyone. I appreciate all of you. I love all of you. Have a wonderful weekend. Start paying attention. Be mindful of those habits.
Oh, can
Yeah.
we sing happy birthday to Ian?
Oh,
Yeah.
All right.
Happy.
Oh,
Are you going
yeah.
to start, Heather? Happy birthday to you.
you.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to you.
you. Happy
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 birthday,
birthday, dear
dear
Ian.
Ian.
Happy
Happy
birthday to
birthday to
you
you.
You.
and many more.
thank you, everyone. I appreciate all of you. Thank you, honey. All right. I'll see you all soon.
All right, bye.